Are you losing the behavior battle? Hi, I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III. I'm the best-selling author and facilitator of the Don't Kick 'em Out book and training series. And that question is a question that every single principal and superintendent have to answer. Is the behavior battle beating you? Here we have all these gains with technology. Here we have all of these smart people. But after all these years, it gets to be 2026, going into 27, and have we still lost the behavior battle? Well, if so, I need you to know you're not alone. This has been stated as a top three struggle for the majority of schools around the nation, even abroad right now. They're dealing with some appalling behavior. And if that's the case, I would offer you uh, guidance under the Don't Kick Them Out modality of how to do things. When I came out with Don't Kick Them Out, it was based off of exactly what we were doing in a juvenile facility where our objective was to rehabilitate behavior. It's something that you have to do. So in the juvenile school and in the facility, it's things that had to be done to maintain order and safety. Don't Kick Them Out does not state don't kick kids out because they're black, white, or brown. That's not when I'm a professional disciplinarian. What Don't Kick Them Out was understanding exactly what is going on with people, our processes. What we have found is that a lot of behavior that goes the wrong way is occurring because of the adult dynamic. For example, I'm at the airport just getting where I got today, and there's a 3-year-old that's out of control and crying and having an elite level of tantrum. Well, that 3-year-old is 100% a product of their environment. They are a product purely. You can't put it on the kid at all. They have been purely influenced and developed by their environment. Now, when I talk about that, that's no excuse. Let me show you what I'm saying. If I know that a kid is coming from a home that doesn't have structure, doesn't have rules and things of that nature, I have to do two things, and I have to do both. One, I have to have more structure at my schoolhouse. Two, I have to teach the same skills to the parent. See, notice what we do in our industry. We're going to do one or the other, right? Rewards without structure creates enablement. There is a way to correct the foolishness, and this is what I'm an advocate of putting the system in place that corrects the foolishness. What is it? It's very simple. It's based on 12 pillars that you have to train on over time. Number one, checking your policies. What does your policy say? Does your policy promote delinquency? Does it promote kids to do the wrong thing? Right? I had, and I always go to this. I remember years ago, a dear friend of mine, love her. I mean, absolutely love her. She's a dear friend. We've been colleagues and friends for over a decade now. When I got to their company, they had what was called a 3-fight policy. And the kids were telling, they were telling you, I still got 2 more left. I got 1 more left. You can't expel me. I take these 5 days to punch this kid. I have been one of the biggest proponents on a no fighting, stopping hitting philosophy in the business. And I definitely have ways to do that for different levels. What Don't Kick Them Out did, which was totally different than anybody else in the business, Don't Kick Them Out gave different trainings for different age groups. So what we never did and never like to do is what's called district-wide training. We know that doesn't work. What we understand is that buildings change by culture, right? So you have to get in that building with that staff. Where we like to do things corporately. We love to have large events and things of that nature. But what I have recognized with this behavior thing is that it has to be done in a small group. It has to be done intimately. It is more work. However, you have to spend that individual time with those teams. And So we started to break things down by age group. Of course, you're going to have hitting and learning how to control your hands at in pre-K through second, 3 through 5. We're teaching at that level. Well, guess what? We never stop teaching, but we're working with a kid through it. Once you get to junior high, hitting, touching, um, fighting, those things are approached differently. It's some common sense, but not common practice. If you don't understand that there is a difference, okay, I'll give you a scenario here. I had a situation in one of my pre-K to second grade schools of high level sexual content. A second grader is doing something unthinkable, right? Unthinkable, showing private parts and things of that nature. Very inappropriate, just some of the craziest stuff you've ever heard and ever seen. Let's move forward. I had some of the same kind. Now, what do we do with the kid? Do we have to get the parent up there? Yes. Do we have to do something? Do we have to document appropriately? Check with the channels to make sure nothing's going on? Yeah. What people like to often say, and this is the era of the business, when a kid is doing something like that, they say that kid is being touched. Well, what you need to understand is molestation and sexual abuse has grown progressive in this millennium right now in 26 from COVID to now. A lot of what sexual misconduct is today is exposure to sexual content. So there was a period where the sexual abuse, people touching and things like that was the primary. The trends say that's no longer it. What you have now today is you got kids, 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 11-year-olds being exposed to sex. They're seeing adults do things in the home and they have access to it on the idiot box. And, I don't like the cell phone, but that's what you have to look at. So you've got to sit down and look at your discipline policies. If you're not looking at your discipline policies, you can't even start your behavior process. So that's what makes Don't Kick Them Out. It's an elite process, right? It's an elite framework that means we don't miss any pillars of our discipline structure. So one, we look at our policies, procedures. Two, we look at our program structure. What is that? That's academics. What are we doing in here, right? Are we focused on academics? Do we have the teachers in position? So this is where coaching comes in. Are my teachers in position to make a play? Are they in position to make plays? Or have you put them in a situation where their productivity is compromised? Three, work together. This is where where I understand. If I can't see, discipline's a team sport. I've been saying that for 20 years. Discipline is not about individual, it's about team. So adults have to realize when I am letting things go, I am impacting the team. I am impacting my teammate. I am impacting the building. And if I impact the building, because I am letting a certain behavior go, I remember vehemently. One district, they partially listened to me about cell phones and I wanted them banned. Now the government has got involved. When I say something, I could see the future. So when I said don't kick them out, I could see government legislation coming where they're going to tell you can't suspend them. I'm not saying it because I think it's whatever morally or ethically right. I could see the future. So I was ahead of cell phones. I said just ban them. And guess what? You got states coming in with cell phone bans. No cell phones on campuses. I told you it was coming. Um, and what they did was, and the board was on board and they were, giving out 10 days. You got a cell phone in 10 days. It was their highest rated offense. They made some adjustment to it, but they did get it under control. Well, the thing is, I would have some teachers, the rule is no cell phone. We don't want to see it. If you see it, if I see it, you're turning it in. Then I'd have some teachers saying, well, you could charge it over there. I know you got it, but I don't want to see it. They letting you charge it in their room. You're part of the problem. That's not team culture. So what do we have to do on a lot of campuses? We have to spend time cleaning up the team. That's why I'm saying it is a no one size fits all. I have to go to your campus. I have to know you. I got to be around your team, and we got to start the training process. The training process is 2 to 3 years. You know, some groups that I would never have a good year of training. I've had schools have that, like they had a good year with me, and then the next year they moved on to something else. That's not training. Once you get something going right, you want to follow it up and start working on a process. You have new team members come in, new students come in. You have to be reacclimated. The most important thing that every campus has to understand, every district has to understand, I got to find what works for us. Because if you're sitting here doing something that we're doing down here in Detroit, or and you want to do it in Dallas, or you want to do it in the Bronx or Brooklyn, it's no guarantee it's going to work because those practices are based on the people and based on culture. You see what I'm saying? And that is something that we've got to learn in this business. We're all looking for the cookie cutter. We're all looking for the duplicable, and the duplicable only comes with the work. That's the end of it. And that's why I'm going to do my job. I know what my job is. My job is to go out. And I know I can't go to all the schools, so I have to do things at a live event. So what we're going to do is we're going to definitely going to go to a state, spend 3, 4 days there, and invite the whole state. And you know, if you can make it, come down, bring your team, right? Bring your team, your admin team, and we're going to do an 8-hour intensive, AM, PM, and we're going to break this stuff down. I don't have a choice because the things we've been doing, they don't work, and it's getting more dangerous. Safety, security is non-negotiable. And non-negotiable, we have to understand once you start getting to where people are getting hurt, fighting's going on, stabbings, and teachers are so burnt out, high blood pressure, don't want to come to work. People are leaving in the middle of the school year because the kids are so horrible. You lost. That was my opening statement. Are you losing the discipline, the behavior battle? And if you are, I'm the person to help you. I absolutely know that. Am I for everybody? Absolutely not. But the truth is you're not for me as well because you're not going to do the work. If you're not going to commit it to do the work, if you don't want to do the work and you don't understand the necessity of the work, there's no reason to call me. I'm not looking for a place to talk. I mean, like literally a couple of hundred requests came in this week. So what do I have to do? I have to interview these people, man. Like we're calling people back. If I call you, I'm talking. I want to get to see, can we actually help each other? Will it work? Because I understand what it takes to be successful. So 1, we have policies. 2, we have structure. 3, we work together. 4, we're consistent, not consistently inconsistent. 5, our communication is clear and concise. 6, clear boundaries, the line. 7, we have to learn to confront. Confrontation is very positive. Conflict is negative. Confrontation is an act of love to attempt to preserve our relationship. We've never been taught that. We've been taught the confrontational. Yeah, confrontational. Confrontational. Confrontation, to confront something, is an act of love. Being confrontational sits you over to the conflict area. You want to fight. It's not what we're going for. It's a way to learn that. 8, adult maturity. Are the adults mature? Are they a part of the solution? Or is their maturity an issue? Staff confidence. You have people that don't feel good about themselves and their confidence is in the toilet and they're afraid to tell a kid they're wrong. We got to work on it. Number 10, parent education and accountability. Anything we want our parents to help us with, we got to teach them. What we've been doing all these years is if you've got something good going with parents, you go ahead. The average program is just really toilet. Math night, this night, that night. That's not how to. I am a big proponent of I don't teach people how to raise their kids. That is a singular thing that they have to figure out. But the laws of parenting and the laws of education support, the laws of discipline are universal. And you can teach that all night. All I asked you get me the parents up there. Percent. I am not discouraged by a small group because as they get to know me, you'll see, and it's happened in Carolina, it's happened in Louisiana, as and has happened in Michigan. As those parents get to know the guy, this Dr. Jackson guy. One lady was so kind to me, parent. She says, they said, are you here to talk to us today? I didn't know about it. No, ma'am, I'm not. She was like, it was a concert and her favorite artist was there or something. I said, huh? She was like, you getting on us, but we need to hear it. And most of us ain't never been taught. I got that from a parent of a kid that ain't living right. We got to teach. Teach without pause, teach with a cause. That's pretty good. Probably need to write that down. Pause and cause. I got you there. Let's go to 11. The kids have to, kid development and kid accountability. The kids have to be taught how to act. I I just don't understand why we think they know, and then they don't know, we want to move on and think they're supposed to know. We're wasting a lot of time on assumptions. And then most importantly is number 12, man. It's just about increasing rapport, learning how to work together as we get to know each other a little better, it gets better. This, my friend, is the foundational answer to behavior issues. It's the foundational answer to behavior issue is actually fix behavior issues, and this is how it has to be done. I am here to help you. I am the guy to correct behavior in school settings and really to teach self-control and to help adults teach self-control. And once that happens, we'll be able to start getting some of our objectives accomplished, our goals accomplished, because if we don't do it, it doesn't work. It's a fundamental way of development. I always like to say, you know, they talk about social and emotional learning. You know, that's one concept. I don't speak about anybody's model. My model is based on personal development and self-control. Both happen to be undefeated. That's why I've been here 20 years. I've been here 20 years and I'm at the top of my game. If you work with me, do what I ask you to do, let me coach you, and let's get it fixed. Don't play because I'm busy. I didn't come out here for that. Let's get it done. I want you to get the production you need, and it happens with doing the work. If you do that, we will be champions. We will accomplish our goals. I am Dr. Jesse Jackson III. I am here for you. I got into this for you. This has to be solved. Let's solve it now. Start your process today. The process works this